to my channel. I'm Liam. A solid week without being incredible. Just snuck into the top 10,000, 2,266 with a few amazing scores, but on Sunday a few shockers halted the momentum of this round. But it's not been my year. 7,700 is not the worst. Certainly not my best. On a positive note, my bench fired pretty well. Picked the right captain. A few pod picks worked out, but a couple of absolute howlers, as I said previously. Players not even getting above 60. Premiums not even get above 80. It's just hard to score well when those things happen. Starting with the defence, Rory Laird, 104, very consistent. Everyone has him, so nothing to talk about with him. Zeeble, solid 89, now up into my defence after a solid trade-in of Rowan Marshall last week. Jaden Short, solid 88, couldn't complain with that. He was alright. Stewart, 111, another solid performance by him. Other than his couple of shockers, he's had a really good season. Pretty solid starting pick. Lloyd I brought in a couple of weeks ago, another 97. Very, very consistent. Hasn't hit the heights of previous years, but his consistency has been pretty good this year. And it's a solid pick just to have on your side in that D5, D6 spot. Unfortunately, Ridley, I could have taken Bianco's 84. I just didn't want Ridley to go 100 and then me to stuff that up. But in hindsight, it would have been nice to take Bianco's solid score. But Ridley, yeah, just probably summed up my season that early on pick when I picked him up after a couple of hundreds. Need to learn my lesson and just you need to wait 4 or 5 weeks to see if a player settles in to scoring. I went a bit early on him. Could have gone Mills, who went 140 this week. That pick has just screwed me over. I'll keep on talking about it. It's a lot of points lost with 50-50 of them. Midfield, Tommy Mitchell, he's a pig, 128. He's still 25 short of probably the better captain pick of Jack Steele, but I can't get to Steele, Millers, the Lions, unfortunately. It's another costly mistake made early in the season, but Tom Mitchell's been a brilliant trade-in since halfway through the year. Merritt bounced back last week, averaged his poor week last week. Needed to do that, otherwise a lot of coaches wouldn't have been happy with him, but he was everywhere. 142. Pretty pleased with that performance. Just a scary captain pick, considering his volatility he has over the last few weeks. McRae, disappointing 81. The game was over at half time. He didn't. Ball was just shared amongst the doggies, so didn't get amongst it. Taranto, if it wasn't for Ridley, wasn't for Sharp, I want to get rid of him so bad. He's just playing forward line. Why? I don't know. His roles just click the switch and change like that, and I'm really pissed with that role change. He actually might have to go, considering he's probably the best. He's got the most value that I can utilise. But just next season, Leon Cameron, please. Nocky Neal has been a terrible pick, 75. He just continues his average. He would call it average season, but not where he was last year. Brad Crouch, 86, was solid, but again, not pushing that heights of 100. McCluggage was a solid 109. Can't complain. And Jeremy Sharp, I knew this score was coming soon. I just didn't want people to bring him in. I haven't missed him my trade talks, and he's just not. No, don't ever pick rookies, even if they've gone back-to-back hundreds. Only at the start of the year would you do that. 450 was no value at all. It's probably an ideal trade this week. I've got so many other problems. I don't know what to do. Connolly and West are very solid on the bench. If any dramas occurred in my side, Rucks win the week for me. Oh, no forwards do. They can have the joint prize of Gorn 109, Riley O'Brien a very impressive 129. He matched Grundy, which is all I'd ask him to do. Aaron Hall's just been on fire. We picked him for next year. Kelly a nice 102. Jordan Ngoe was a good pick, even at a little bit more of an inflated price, but he's going to be a value pick next year after his slow start. Same as Stringer, playing a lot more midfield. Very pleased with my Rowan Marshall pick. I did trade James Harms. Should have gone and traded Ridley. So it did net profit. Unfortunately, Harms did ton up, but pretty pleased with Rowan Marshall. He played against no ruck for the whole game, so wasn't surprising, but very impressive by him. And Heaney, 90, he's picked up a bit of form as of late. After that little rough patch a few weeks ago, 220 points his last two, pretty solid. And brought in McRae this week. Sorry had a nice midfield role last week with his 70 and backed it up, having a few more centre bounces. 59, won't ever play on my field, but it's just solid cover if something goes wrong. That's my review of round 20, 3 rounds to go. Hopefully I can get the top 7,000. Maybe that'll be a solid aim to get. Jeremy Sharp probably goes next week for me. Trade talk will either be Wednesday or Thursday. There won't be a preview. I've just got too much uni work on at the moment, so the trade talk will be a mixed trade talk / maybe a little preview at the end. So till then, have a good one.